Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday afternoon, April 5th. We are looking at Windows Traders Market Profile, the SPY, IWM, and Triple Qs, and the Bulls. Rule of the day again as we hit new highs in the S&P, the Dow, and the transports. Russell and Triple Qs do not hit highs. However, the Russell does come out of an inside week to the upside and are holding it for now, which is very impressive. Triple Qs get above those very visual areas we've been talking about, and right now their next destination is the all-time high to the upside. We had, and by the way, the Triple Qs go out with a trend day. They have three. Let me see if they held three sets. F, E, and B. They do. They held three sets of single prints and a very nice size gap. Impressive. Russell gapped higher and drove straight down, filled their gap, actually got their price probe from Friday, but that's it as they turn to a B shape. We have a gap. We have gaps on every time frame. We have a monthly gap, we have a weekly gap, and we have daily gaps. We did run out of steam, no doubt about it, after E period. So as you can see, we had a $3.50, 60-cent range. Well, we spent 4.5 hours within a 50-cent range of it, packing in volume in here, although we never really could get a good flush. So we go out with a trend day, double distribution day, one set of single prints. I had a good day. I made only 4 trades on the day, 3 of them long, 1 short. I made money on all my longs. I lost small on the short. Wasn't a big short because for my money's worth, especially early today, the short was not the right play. We gap open and basically drive straight up. But I did not take my first play to C period. Got long in C period against the single prints and had a very nice trade on the 4 or 5 calls. As each time it pushed in, I got long. Each time it went back up, I took some off and added a couple of times. Then I didn't do anything to I, believe it or not. We went higher. I was watching it. There was nothing to do. I'm like, I'm not going to chase it. And I'm also not going to short it. There was really no pullbacks in this market until later. I period, I took a small short, 408 puts. We had taken out G and H's low. I'm like, maybe we'll get some more out of it. Never really did anything. Never got any legs. So when J period opened, I still had the small short. It was only a 10 lot. J took out I's high and then came in. It was a poor high. I bought 100 calls. Bought 100 of the 4 or 5 calls for today. The pot got raised. It didn't do much. It was a very tight range, but I was making money on it. When it went up, I was taking them off. When it came back in, I put some more on and finally took the rest off in K period right around J's high. That turned out to be a nice trade. So I had about 75 calls in C period at the biggest. Over here, I had 100 at the biggest. They worked out. And then in L period, we came in. Never got as low as I wanted it to, which was, I'm in 4s or 5s now, so the value low is lower. I was looking for more of a pullback to around E's low. I only did 25 on the calls, but it worked out as we went right back to POC. So I had a nice day, and that's different for me to be able, at all-time highs, to be buying 75 calls, 100 calls, whatever you want to say. You know, that's something that I've worked on a lot over my career. And I got paid on them. I got paid. There'd be, back in the day, a lot of times either I'd watch it or I'd be stubbornly shorting it. Now, you could have shorted all afternoon because you had two-sided trade. But there would be days where there's no way at the highs of the day or the all-time highs that I would look for longs. And I did, and I had a very good day. All right. Destinations right now upside, one and only one, 406.94, our all-time high. For the downside, now, you know what? Let's see where they closed. They have us closing. Basically, I should say the POC, the 9-wide POC is an upside destination. 406.33. They have us closing around 29. I don't know if that's official, but 406.33 we could also use as an upside destination, 9-wide, and then the all-time high. For the downside, we don't have anything to L's low, which is 405.75, my afternoon pullback. Then we have our single print C's low. They start at 405.29. They get filled at A's high, 404.63. And then we have today's low, of 403.38 and filling a weekly gap at 400.67. So it's a 271 point gap, and it is a weekly gap. Impressive. And then on the charts, one time framing up in the monthly in SPY now for 6 months, including this month. We took out last month's high. Very healthy. Weekly came out of a balance on Friday to the upside, gapped high today. Healthy. And by the way, we have a monthly gap, which I forgot about. Somebody in my room pointed out. So we have a gap on the monthly, which is never held, by the way. But for now, we have a gap on the monthly. Okay? Gets filled at 398.12. It's a small gap, but it's a gap. We have a large weekly gap. And we have a large, daily gap, which is the weekly gap today, but we have gaps underneath also. Look at this. Talk about getting distance away from a balance, boom, to the upside. And the volume, 89 million, so above average, which is pretty good. And then I'm going to show you one other thing. So here's the Russell. Well, I showed that to you already. Came out of balance. Came out of an inside week to the upside. It's still balanced, though. And their daily is up. And then on the triple Qs, monthly is still balanced, 5-month balance. But the weekly just got above a 6-week balance on a gap to the upside. Next destination on the weekly, all-time high. And the daily is absolutely firecracking to the upside as we have gaps all over the place. So we had a very good day again in the trading room. The key this morning was keeping people out of trouble. I told them early on, I said, look, until you get two-sided trade, do not look for shorts. All we're doing is one-time framing up on a huge gap, single prints. So we kept a lot of people out of trouble. And then once it got to two-sided trade, I said, now you're free to do what you want as long as you have your outs. So, excellent group. Hope you had a great day trading. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.